West Virginia. And on Friday, number 9 of the high school football season, the colors of red and black will be featured in one particular matchup, a Cardinal Conference encounter between Wayne and Sissonville. Wayne is a program steeped in postseason tradition, trying to keep its playoff hopes alive in Class AA. Sissonville has also enjoyed postseason success down through the years, but this Indian team is simply looking for win number 1 in 2023 under first-year head coach Jeremy Hairston. It's the 36th meeting of all time between the visiting Wayne Pioneers and the host Sissonville Indians, and it's about to unfold from historic Joe Sawyer's Field, and we've got it for you next on our Parmar Friday Night Rivals Game of the Week. We welcome you to the rainy campus of Sissonville High School, historic Joe Sawyer's Field, for our latest Parmar Friday Night Rivals Game of the Week, presented by Eyewitness Sports. The Wayne Pioneers and the Sissonville Indians getting together in a Cardinal Conference showdown. Wayne still with hopes of being in the postseason. Sissonville looking for that elusive first win of the season. Greetings from Sissonville, along with former two-time first-team All-Stater and championship coach Jim Mahan, Hannah Klein on the sidelines, and our wonderful F&R crew. I'm Mark Martin, delighted to have you with us. And Jim Mahan, well, it's that time of year. We've had really good weather, but it's a bit soggy here tonight. Homecoming night for Sissonville. You are looking for many things to play for down the stretch of this season when you are 0-7, and that's the task here tonight for Jeremy Hairston's team. Meanwhile, Wayne's got a lot to play for in terms of a second season.
Right. They have an opportunity to sneak into the playoff with the top 16, but they're probably going to have to run the table to do it. On the other hand, Sissonville needs to try to build something for next year, so they are looking for the first win.
All right, it's homecoming, and it's the last home game of the regular season for the Indians. Let's talk about players to watch in this game. Tom Harmon's been at it a long time here at Wayne High School, and he's got some good ones. And Colton Mathis leads the way in the rushing department for this Pioneer team. 431 yards on the season, 8 touchdowns, and he can do it on the defensive side as well. So he will be a guy that Coach Harmon will be counting on down the stretch of the season to possibly get Wayne into the playoffs. Meanwhile, for Sissonville, well, you look for a lot of sparks, and they will try to get the ball into the hands of this guy, Jake Wiseman, outstanding receiver, defensive back, been an all-stater here at Sissonville. Certainly not the senior year this young man had hoped for, but just a quality kid, and he's going to try to see if he can get Bill on a 3-game winning streak to close out this 2023 campaign. Again, it is homecoming here in Sissonville. Umbrellas are out, and a lot of great fans braving the weather here for this battle between the red and black. We've got Wayne and Sissonville coming your way from Joe Sawyer's Field on our upcoming Parmar Friday Night Rivals Game of the Week, presented by Eyewitness Sports.
Caden Watts. Number 15, Zane Atkins.
Guys, good sportsmanship at all times. We're going to call you red, we're going to call you white. Whistle blows, plays dead. So let go, all right? I got a heads, I got a tail. Got a head and a tail. You want to call the coin toss now or in there?
Now.
All right, tails. Here's the tails. What do you want to do?
We'll defer till the second half.
I guess you want the ball, right? Yeah. Which way you want to kick?
Away from the scoreboard.
Away from the scoreboard. You want to kick towards the scoreboard or away? Okay, away. Right over here, red over here.
Go over here, what?
Second.
Shake up one more time.
Here, I'm sorry, I'm wrapped. I'm wrapped. Okay, let's go. Ready? We'll walk off. Good up.
What? I know. I was about to say that.
Being sponsored in part by your Parmar stores. If you don't have a Parmar store near you now, you will soon. So it will be Wayne kicking it off.
From Wayne and Jake Wiseman from Sissonville High. They are the Todd Judy Ford Scholarship Athletes of the Week.
You can get all of our materials straight here with the rain that we had. We had a lot of wind. Had to kind of rearrange things here, but ready to go.
Yeah, Mark, one of the things we talk about, special teams, it's a third of the game, and it probably will play a very heavy part in this game this evening with the conditions of the field and the wind and the rain. So that ball's going to be a little bit slippery, and the footing is going to be slippery as well.
Cade Estep, a junior, will kick it off for Wayne. Sissonville with Nate Young back deep, along with Ian Cox. And it is going to be Young gathering it in, and then they'll flip it into the hands of his mate there, who was up just a bit, and that is Wiseman, who we spoke of earlier, player to watch here for Sissonville. And again, Jeremy Hairston telling us this week, we've got to figure out ways to get Jake Wiseman the football.
Well, you really have to. He's such a big target at 6'2", plus he sees the field mark so well. He's got such good field vision. That's why not only does he have great hands, but he can get the yards after the catch too.
Our opening kickoff was presented by OVP Health, formerly Ohio Valley Physicians, in business since 1999. Now this Sissonville team lost a real good quarterback, so they got the youngster in there in Maddox Balog, and guns it out there. Short gain for the Indians, 5 yards they'll give him as Young gathers it in.
Well, we see from their first play of scrimmage, Sissonville's just going to use pretty much every arsenal in their playbook tonight if they're willing to pass on first down.
Young is a junior. So second down and 5. Log rolling, and the youngster stands in there, gunning in the direction of Wiseman, and he takes a big-time hit. And, boy, he is slow in getting up.
Yeah, he ended up actually almost going airborne, Mark, and kind of like jump passing, and that's why I don't think he got enough on it. It was nearly picked off. Pioneer got his paw on it, but he couldn't haul it in.
Well, it's unfortunate. Sissonville losing an outstanding senior in Ethan Taylor. Of course, his brother, Evan, twin brother, is a receiver.
I don't know if there's some clock malfunction. The referee, Michael Boland, was winding the clock down, but it hasn't moved any.
Gun it out there into the hands of Young and trying to maneuver his way across the 45 to the 46-yard line. And just going with that little wide receiver screen there, firing it out there in the flat.
Well, he's got a good target out there. It's just a matter of getting some of those guys downfield and staying on their blocks. And Sissonville's going to roll the dice here, Mark.
Yeah, 4th and 2. See if they try to draw Wayne off sides or. Michael Taylor in the backfield with Balog. And Balog, high snap, and here's Taylor, and he's got the first down right to midfield. And, you know, Jim, they talk about it a lot within a game, victories within a game. Sissonville just got a victory.
They did. They didn't want to, you don't want to just start right out with a 3 and out, and then you're punting, and then Wayne's got the ball. Now that defense is still out there. They've got everything in their arsenal that they want from midfield, so they've got good field position. They're obviously not afraid to run for it on 4th down on their side, on their own side of the 50. So Sissonville's trying to make a statement with this opening drive.
First down sponsor in this opening quarter is the University of Charleston. We are all Golden Eagles. Fresh set of downs for Sissonville. And here is a direct snap. That is Wiseman, and Wiseman journeys his way into Wayne territory. Get it to the 43-yard line before being driven out of bounds. Jeremy Hairston in his first season as the head coach at Sissonville. Tom Harmon, season number 27.
A little bit of a contrast there, but Wiseman running in a little bit of the wildcat position. He was good hands on it, a little bit of a high snap, but he made some positive yardage out of it.
7-yard pickup. Hand it off to Taylor, and Taylor, good hard running there in front of the Wayne bench, and it's Mathis coming up with the tackle for the Pioneers.
Yeah, Taylor, he's a tough kid to bring down. He runs really physical. You can see those tree trunk legs he's got. I mean, he's a good hard runner. So I look for them to try to get it back to him on 3rd and short. They obviously are going to have 2 plays to get a first down here.
Taylor, 6 foot, 210, senior. High snap, Balog, great save, and they're going to get him in the backfield. Well, good job by the youngster coming up with the football, because, boy, I tell you what, that could have been disastrous. Taken down by Dante Worrell. So now it's going to be 4th and 5, and that's unfortunate for Sissonville there.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, Mark, at 3rd and short, and just try to run a dive, but the exchange between the center and the quarterback, they're just not clicking right now. There's been some other high snaps, too. I mean, Wiseman had a high snap. He's 6'2", so the center's going to have to probably adjust that snap a little bit.
Big 4th down play here for Sissonville. Now we have a timeout called by the Indians. And Jeremy Hairston wants to talk it over with his crew. Indians with a 4th and 5, and we take a break here. Joe Sawyersfield in Sissonville on our part of our Friday Night Rivals Game of the Week.
That's what I was getting ready to say. As long as they don't have a loss, I mean, they're probably going to get another first down.
Yeah.
And then they get a loss. Taylor, what grade's he in? Is he a junior?
Who?
Taylor's a senior.
Yeah, the Taylors, yeah. Okay, yep, let's do it. All right, we're off to a good start. Thing gets up going here, man. I mean, this would be great.
They could really get a completion here. Wiseman, I think that would help him. I'd be going to him, Mark. He's 6'2". I mean, he's got great hands. He's a good-looking kid.
That's us. So thank you, Big Sandy Superstore, for their corporate sponsorship of Friday Night Rivals. Glad to have them here at Sissonville.
$7:51 to go here in this opening quarter, and Sissonville trying to convert a 4th down, a second 4th down. Indians break out of the timeout huddle with head coach Jeremy Hairston and his staff. Maddox Balog, the freshman quarterback, awaits the snap, rolls, pressure coming, fires, and Wiseman, did he pull it in? Incomplete, and Wayne will take over. Hannah Klein joining us here tonight at historic Joe Sawyer's Field. She joins us down the field. Good evening, Hannah.
Well, Mark, I spoke to Sissonville new head coach Jeremy Harrison about tonight's game. He says this team is just looking for a win tonight. In these last few practices, they have been working on some adjustments on and off the field. They're hoping to show up during tonight's homecoming game.
Wayne with the football for the first time here tonight, and give it to Jackson Dameron, and Dameron's going to be a handful here tonight, Jim.
Yeah, he's a very, very hard physical runner, and of course he has that big experienced line in front of him, so they're going to capitalize on that, and that's one of Coach Harmon's MOs. He likes to run a physical ground attack, and he's done it in the past, so he's been very successful with it.
Dameron coming in, 75 carries, 415 yards, 5 touchdowns. He picks up 5 on first down. And now they'll hand it off as they swinging around here. And the carry by Caden Hayton. Hayton, the 6'2 sophomore, and he has the first down. Again, our first downs here in the opening quarter, sponsored by the University of Charleston. We are all Golden Eagles. The University of Charleston's mission is to educate each student for a life of productive work, enlightened living, and community involvement. Take the next step toward success. Keeping the football is the quarterback, and Fisher Fry will ramble his way to the 32-yard line. About a 17-yard game for Fry, the junior QB. Another first down sponsored by UC.
Kind of wasn't sure whether that was a design play or whether he just turned the wrong way and made the most out of it. But obviously that line is really pushing forward for the Pioneers.
Football at the 32. Here's Mathis breaking it. Mathis will score 31 yards. Colton Mathis. Well, he started to his right, Jim, and then changed directions, and it's a touchdown for Wayne. Touchdown sponsored by Marshall University.
Yeah, really nice job by Colton Mathis. I mean, just seeing the whole field and seeing how the flow was over there to the right and then cutting it back to the left and basically having just open field.
And the extra point is no good. Attempted there by Eastep. Another look, Jim.
There's Colton Mathis going to the right side, slides it back, sees a seam on the left, and he sees nothing but pay dirt to the goal line.
So Cade Eastep, his extra point, no good. Our scoring summaries here tonight will be sponsored by Mark A. Hunt and Associates, the Kanawha Valley's premier personal injury law firm. 4 plays, 55 yards, 122 off the clock.
All of them on the ground. You notice that they're probably not going to throw too many passes because they've got that experienced line, Mark. They've got 2 seniors and 3 juniors there, but they've all got experience in varsity games. So Coach Harmon has a lot of confidence in those front 5.
Tom Harmon with 3 state championships and 4 runner-up finishes and a 36-game winning streak. 36-game winning streak. They tied Old Ansted High School. OVP Health kickoff now, formerly Ohio Valley Physicians, and Sissonville wisely will just fall on the football there.
We have an injured Indian down. He looks like he's slowly getting up.
John Wheeler is the young man who dropped down on the football. Sissonville played for a state championship as recent as 1994, and they were in a couple of state championship games under the guidance of the gentleman in which this facility is named after, the great late Joe Sawyer. So 29-yard line, and I think you're Jeremy Harrison, you're telling your guys, hey, we had a good thing going there in that opening drive. Let's do it again.
Yeah, they had one play where it really cost them. Otherwise, they probably wouldn't have been able to sustain the drive.
Wideouts to both sides. They'll bring Wiseman in motion, and they'll get the football into his hands, and Wiseman driven out of bounds at around the 35-yard line.
You know, when you assess a guy like Wiseman, who is all-state caliber, Mark, and you can kind of appreciate not only the fact that he has good hands, but he's got great field vision. He's got that balance and the footwork. And, like, even going out of bounds, he's not going to fall down. He's going to try to get an extra yard or two as he's going out of bounds. So he's just a superior, top-notch player.
Outstanding student. He's our Todd Judy Ford Scholar Athlete from Sissonville this week. So it was a 6-yard pickup. Another high step and a great snag by Wiseman with that quick slant in traffic. And, boy, great concentration. You know you're going to take the hit, and he hangs on.
Yeah, he just fires a bullet, but Wiseman he's got 3 guys rocking him, but it didn't seem to affect him. I mean, what a wonderful catch by him. That slant is a really tough play to defend.
This little throw, too, there by the young quarterback. Another high snap. Baylog handles it as he hands it off to Michael Taylor.
Taylor wanted to drag a few with him as he was trying to get back to the original line of scrimmage.
No yardage on the play, actually about a yard on the play. We'll call it 2nd down and 9.
Football resting at the 47-yard line. Indians will break the huddle. Out over the football comes Thomas Walker.
They're seeing that one-on-one matchup with Wiseman here in the bottom of your screen, so that's probably what they're going to be looking at.
Baylog, boy, they come quickly, and firing the pass and making the catch is Wiseman, and Wiseman is still on his feet. And a flag comes out. That could be a face mask. What a gutty throw by Baylog.
Well, he just has great timing on Bayloff to get that to Wiseman, but hats off to Wiseman for just refusing to go down in spite of what we have in the initial flag, Mark, is you are correct. A face mask against the Wayne Pioneers, so they'll tack on to that.
Maddox Baylog. What a throw, what a catch by Wiseman. Another look, Jim.
It's that slant panner we was talking about. Great timing, and Bayloff takes a pop. And there's Wiseman with just those steel hands. He just got vice grips. 3 guys around him, got a face mask, gets away from him, adds some more yardage to it.
Swinging out. And making the grab is Young for the Indians.
Yeah, what kind of adjustment that Coach Harmon's going to have to come up with if they want to keep Wiseman in check, they're going to have to put a couple of guys on him.
About 4 on the play, 2nd down and 6.
Second down play. And into the hands of Taylor. And Evan Taylor, who has spent the majority of his high school career with twin brother Ethan at quarterback and now playing for both he and his brother. So he makes the grab. Football at about the 21-yard line.
And they're trying to use a little bit of up-tempo here. Notice you got Wiseman on the right, flanked out there.
And just quick passing. Catch was made, and a good recovery over there on the defensive side. Taylor made the catch, but Mathis is there with a very quick tackle.
Yeah, Mathis, with his speed, was able to close in on that, and it's a great open field tackle, which sets up their 3rd 4th down of this quarter.
4th down play on the Indians, I believe, jump.
And those are the little things, Mark, that really can frustrate a coach when you're looking at this side of the season. But that one was actually against the Pioneers, which gives the Indians an automatic 1st down.
Yeah, 1st downs sponsored tonight here in the 1st quarter and the 3rd quarter by the University of Charleston. So a fresh set of downs here. 5 first downs here in this opening quarter for the Indians. For a team that's 0-7, showing a lot of life here homecoming soggy night here at Joe Sawyer's Field. Young quarterback, boy, standing in there and now going to take off with it. Tell you what, I'm impressed with this young freshman.
Yeah, he's got a lot of poise. I mean, he's really wanting to go to Wiseman. Wiseman was double covered in the corner, and he just tucked it in and got what he could get, which is 4, which isn't bad. I mean, especially down here, you want to keep the ball. That's the main thing. Let's keep the ball, try to punch it in the end zone. They have an opportunity, Mark, to get a first down without actually scoring and just keep this momentum rolling on this drive.
They operate in the red zone, sponsored by Glenville State University. Pioneer your future. Wiseman swings around in motion, makes the grab, and just loses his footing there and tumbles down and around the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I think he had the intentions of making a nice move. He saw a little bit of a seam back on the left side, and he got his feet tangled up a little bit. But they got 2 more shots at it, and I'm sure they're going to take both of them.
Wayne striking first in this game after a good opening drive by Sissonville. Colton Mathis raced 31 yards. Extra point was no good. Sissonville trying to answer here. Under 2 minutes to go in our opening quarter of play. Long throws and in the direction of Wiseman. Ball will fall incomplete. Good job by Taylor there in the backfield, picking up the pressure as Mathis was bringing the heat.
Yeah, Mathis was coming off of that right edge, and Taylor picked him up well to give him a shot. That was just a little bit of too much of a lead on Wiseman, but as we said earlier, they'll be going for it.
I believe this is their fourth down attempt. Third fourth down attempt here in this opening quarter of play.
Well, it would have been 4, but they got the gift with the offsides on the Pioneers.
Snap, protection good. Firing in the direction of Taylor, and the ball will fall incomplete. But another nice drive, Jim Mahan, by the Sissonville Indians.
They did a nice job of converting some fourth downs and some key plays and having some nice throws and catches. So,
all right, we break away here in Sissonville. Wayne on top. Soggy night here on the campus of the Indians. Homecoming 2023. Smile Cam, sponsored by Mountain State Oral and Facial Surgery. Restore your smile with same-day smile. Schedule an appointment online with Mountain State Oral and Facial Surgery. And I think right now, if you are a Sissonville fan or a Wayne fan, you got a lot to smile about.
I would think so. The rain has stopped. We can be thankful of that. We've got a good game here. I mean, 1 turnover, and Sissonville's right back in business. So, that's what they're looking for. Of course, Wayne's wanting to try to secure the ball as well.
Wayne has the lead here at 6-0, and of course they want to avoid big plays. And right at Ronnie Staley the third, the wide receiver, getting the handoff, and Staley the third, the junior, races for the first down, sponsored by the University of Charleston.
Well, taking them right out of that deficit and just putting them in what you consider solid field position with 1:15 on a running clock. So
22-yard pickup for Staley the third. Hand it off now, go to the power game, and you got Jackson Dameron, who bulls his way to the 45. Had Wayne F&R a year ago at Herbert Hoover. One of the final few games played at old Joe Cowley Field. That was a pretty good game for a while. Hoover pulled it out. We had Sissonville here at home against a very good Logan team. That was early on. Mick did the game with me, and that was when Logan had all their horses. Injuries really got to them toward the end of the season. Hand it off to Dameron again, and Dameron fights his way for yardage, and Dameron so powerful and chugs his way into Sissonville territory. Ian Cox makes the stop for the Indians.
Yeah, you're going to have a hard time if you're going to try to tackle Dameron up top because he's so physical. I mean, you're going to have to get low on him. Those defensive backs are going to have to really go in low on him, take his feet out from under him.
13-yard pickup for Dameron. Fry under center.
I think we had a little bit of a hitch on that right tackle for the Pioneers, and that's going to cost them 5.
That one's going to be a 5-yard penalty against the Pioneers.
Sissonville's going to have to come up with some answers up front because that offensive line of Wayne is just basically dominating the line of scrimmage.
Michael Bolin is our referee tonight. He's been doing it for 12 years. Hails from Coal City, West Virginia. Handed off to Mathis. The standout leading rusher for the Pioneers zigzags his way inside the 40 as we come to the end of the first quarter. Quickly played first quarter of action here at Joe Sawyer's Field, homecoming 2023. The Wayne Pioneers in front of the Sissonville Indians as we head to the second quarter on our Parmar Friday Night Rivals Game of the Week presented by Eyewitness Sports. Night for Sissonville, the homestanding Indians. It's homecoming, but they have 2 games remaining. But this is the final home game of the regular season. Kind of unusual homecoming on the final home game of the year. So a lot to play for. Wayne, well, they had that mission of reaching the playoffs. Pioneers with the football, 6-0 lead, and give it back to Dameron. Going to have to swarm this guy as he continues to fight his way down the field. He is just not an easy individual to bring down.
No, and he fought his way through that initial attack from the Indians enough to get another first down for the Pioneers.
First downs here in our second quarter of play is sponsored by Optimum. All right, at the 30, Fry looking to throw for the first time tonight. Heaves it toward the end zone, and the leaping catch is made. Touchdown, Wayne. Well, he launched it out there, and Justin Perry pulls it in for the TD.
Throws a touchdown pass.
And Perry had a nice route on it. He just kind of sat down once he got in the end zone, and Wiseman was over there playing double coverage on the wide out on the left, and they just threw a dart back against him. He couldn't get back over and cover it.
Ryan Epling does such a great job with statistical information for Wayne High School, and if what he has, the data he's given us, that is Perry's first catch of the season. And then maneuvering in for the 2-point try is Mathis, and Sissonville has the 14-0 lead.
2-point conversion run for the Pioneers.
He's looking to throw over in the corner, but he sees a wide open and just a really nice leaping catch in the end zone.
Another look there at Perry. I believe I said Sissonville trails by 14 to the Wayne Pioneers. Mark A. Hunt and Associates sponsoring our scoring summary. 6 plays, 85 yards, 159 off the clock.
Once again, we've talked about this, Mark, that I know that it's been one of those long-standing statistics that for whatever reason seem to work their way into a stat sheet, but 159, like time of possession, it doesn't matter how long you have the ball. It's what you do when you have the ball.
Exactly. Well, we were just about to discuss the passing situation. Baylor had made good on 7 of 11 attempts in that first quarter for 46 yards. Wayne had yet to attempt to pass until Fisher Fry launched it there.
And we were talking at the break that we saw no intentions from Coach Harmon of doing anything but keeping the ball on the ground.
7th touchdown pass of the season for Fry. This is a short kick. And gobbling it up there for the Indians was Young. Let's head down to Hannah Klein.
Yeah, Mark. So we're here actually at the Sissonville concession stand. It smells absolutely amazing in here. I'm here with Donna and Christina. Now, they are parents and also volunteers here tonight. Now, tell me exactly, what are these funds going towards?
We are the Pride of Sissonville Band Boosters, and we're here selling to raise money for our band, transportation costs, competition costs, new instruments, cleaning fees of our uniforms, and just anything to go to support our kids.
You have to tell me, because there's a huge line. Kind of scoot over a little bit and show this line. It's massive.
Really nice.
And there's everything. There's what? There's hot dogs. There's nachos.
There's Chick-fil-A. There are tacos in a bag. Those are really popular. French fries, cheese fries, and loaded nachos.
We love it. Well, thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys talking to me. And Mark, I'll go ahead and send it back to you.
All right, thank you, Hannah. Short pass by Sissonville here to begin this series. So now, Jim, you're down 14-0, and you've had some productive drives, but you haven't been able to punch it in. That's definitely what Sissonville is going to need to do to keep pace here. High snap, and Taylor gets the call.
They're just not getting any real quick, explosive runs up off of the line of scrimmage. They're going to, they've been really successful on those spread out, kind of like bubble screens or little slip screens. But they, like you said earlier, Mark, they're really going to need to answer here at 14-0. They really need to try to get that ball down the field and control and take some of the time off the clock, keep the ball out of the hands of the Pioneers, and put some points on the board.
Taylor checks out, and Ian Cox is in. Sissonville facing a 3rd and 9 here. Aloft steps up, guns, and nice job there defensively, intended for Wiseman once again. But it was Wayne on the defensive coverage there. Zane Atkins making the play. Atkins, one of the linebackers for the Pioneers. So Sissonville going to be forced to punt. And the punter
It's the first punt of the game for either team.
Thomas Walker is the punter, and this one's going to roll right at the 50. And that's where it will go out, and that is where Wayne will take over here. Well, we talked about it was a big offensive set for Sissonville, and they couldn't capitalize. So now, Coach Hairston, you're saying, okay, guys, you got to get a stop here and not to let this thing get too far out of hand here. They're actually going to now officially mark the football at the 48-yard line.
It's one of those sideways bounce, Mark. It's kind of what you want to see when you're down near the goal line. It kind of deaden the ball like a wedge shot.
25-yard punt. Fry and company go to work here for Wayne, leading it 14-0. And Fry, he turns and then takes off with it. Slowed up there by Michael Spencer.
We talked about this earlier, Mark. Spencer grabs him at the line of scrimmage, and Fry still manages to get 5 or 6 yards. And, if you're going to tackle those guys, you got to get a little bit lower and take their legs out from them. They're obviously strong enough to carry you along with them. So you're going to have to change a little bit about where your point of attack on those tackles.
Fry turns, hands it off, and Mathis. Boy, he does such a nice job spinning through traffic and now finds an opening. Mathis. Did he go out? He did. But, boy, what a run by Mathis.
Talking about an elusive runner. Stuck in there and wasn't content with taking 10 or 15. Here he comes right up the gut into the traffic. He does a little bit of a side swipe and then a 360 and then off to the races like he was in the first touchdown run that he had. A little bit of footwork there, and he steps out right at the 3 or 4 yard line.
Wiseman and Taylor slowed him down. 44-yard pickup for Mathis. And Wayne knocking at the door again here. 1st and 3 in the Glenville State Red Zone. Our sponsor for our Red Zone, twisting and turning, is Mathis.
He got about as close as you could get without getting in, Mark. He's smelling that goal line. It's probably just a matter of the next play or two, unless Sissonville can force a turnover, and that's what they're probably hoping to try to get a pop at that ball there, pop it out. Ball resting on the 1 yard line.
Fry will turn, and Mathis will drive himself behind that line into the end zone for the 3rd Pioneer score of the game. 2nd TD of the game for Mathis.
Well, he got him down there, only appropriate that he would take it across the goal line. So they're alternating between kicking and converting 2 points, and this one.
And the extra point is up, and it is good. And drilling it through there for, was that 18? All right, we're going to take a break here. We will return, and Wayne with the 21-0 lead. All right, the kickoff, and ball going to go out of bounds. Where are they going to place it down? Cox had trouble.
That was really unfortunate.
Fielding it there.
It's almost like he batted the ball and almost like he batted it out of bounds. And they're in a really deep hole here on their own 10-yard line.
The Indians will start their offensive series from their own 10-yard line after that kickoff.
Kind of reminds you of the Herd yesterday, starting at the one, starting at the inside their own territory. You kind of have to limit your playbook a little bit because the ball's so deep in your own territory.
The extra point we want to note was made by freshman Bryce Murdoch, and she is out for football, and that is her first extra point in her career. Well, you could see the reaction of her teammates, and gives Wayne this 21-0 lead after the Mathis touchdown. Bailoff to Wiseman, and maybe a gain of 1, perhaps.
Contrary to what our viewers might be seeing, Mark, there is only one number 17 out there for the Pioneers, but he seems to be all over the field like there's a whole bunch of them.
Yeah, Colton Mathis, quite the player for Tom Harmon's Pioneer program. Wiseman in motion. And they'll get it to Wiseman. And Wiseman, when I speak of the devil, there is Mathis just waiting on Wiseman. No chance.
Yeah, it's easy to key on this guy, and he's kind of their workhorse for the Indians, Wiseman is. But Mathis knew he was coming in motion from right to left, and Bailoff just dropped it in his lap, and Mathis was waiting right for him.
Well, Wayne's been impressive, and obviously Tom Harmon, 27 years, and they've just had a great stretch of success. The Sissonville program has as well. A little down here the past couple of seasons. Coaching change this year. But you have to be impressed with what the Indians have brought to the table here tonight. But right now, staring at a long field, and the young quarterback drops back, stands in there, and firing it in the direction of Young, and the ball falls incomplete. But I'm telling you, this quarterback has no fear.
No, he doesn't. And Young was actually open on that seam route, Mark, but he got hit as he was trying to deliver it, and he couldn't get the ball all the way there with enough zip on it. So the receiver was there, and he saw him, and he had an opportunity to hit him, and it would have been enough for a first down, but that pop by the Pioneers was enough to put him off guard.
Walker going to have to punt from his own end zone, and coming up and making the catch there is Perry, who has the touchdown grab, and Perry will take it to the 22-yard line.
It'd just be kind of the field position you're looking for if Coach Harmon had to draw it up any more perfectly than that.
So good field position here for Wayne.
First and 10, Wayne from the Indian 22-yard
Sissonville will try to bear down.
Yeah, it's really imperative that Sissonville try to get some type of break, whether it's a fumble or something, to try to turn the tide of momentum a little bit, because, as you know, they won the toss and deferred, which means they're going to get the ball to start the second half.
It's a 30-yard pump by Walker. And good defense there by Sissonville. Slowing up. The runner, Taylor, brings him down. Trying to swing it to the outside. And that was Hayton with the carry.
Yeah, that was a good job. He had a blocker all over him, and he still managed to get his hands on his jersey and drag him down for no gain. As a matter of fact, I think he had a little bit of a loss on that one. Not enough statistically, but, let's say it's 2nd and 10.5.
The math teacher's coming out in you, Jim.
I know. I can't help it.
Flag on the play.
And we got a motion against the Wayne Pioneers. That'll set them back 5 extra. There's 6 minutes to go here in this second quarter. Again, we talked about it, Mark. Imperative that the Indians try to stall the Pioneers as best they can.
Had a chance to see our good friend Henry Boob Lanham earlier tonight, doing some help with the Sissonville program, where he was once a longtime defensive coordinator and head coach, working with Coach Hairston's. Here's the handoff, and there is Dameron fighting for a couple and taken down by Wiseman and company.
Yeah, he did a little bit better job there of doing some gang tackling in that group. So led by number 66, Bryson Harrelson.
Picks up about 3 on the play. Third down and 12 from the 24.
Out over the football for the Pioneers, Jackson DeWeese, a senior. Fry fakes, throws, catch made, open field, touchdown Wayne. Pioneers add another TD here. James Spradlin, who has been the quarterback, call him Grady, and Grady Spradlin takes it in for the Wayne TD.
24-yard touchdown.
Touchdown sponsored by Marshall University. We are Marshall. Nice job maneuvering with that football was Fry.
Good balance there between the attacks of 2 rushing touchdowns, 2 throwing touchdowns.
Kick is up, and yet again,
PAT is up and good.
it is drilled. And the Pioneers, another TD pass for Fry and company. Bryce Murdoch with the point after. 28-0 Wayne over Sissonville here at Joe Sawyer's Field.
Got away from a clip.
Mark A. Hunt and Associates, our scoring summary sponsor, 3 plays, 22 yards, just 1:47 off the clock. And the Pioneers with a 28-0 lead here. Well, Tom Harmon, what more can you say about this guy? And I talked to Tom this week about Sissonville's situation, and right now Jeremy Harrison's still looking for that first win. Coach Harmon was 0-10 his first season at Wayne and has built something special there, including 3 state championships, and that's what Jeremy Harrison would love to do. I'll tell you what, he played high school football in Maryland and then went to Shepherd and played for Monty Cater, who's going to go into the College Football Hall of Fame. Not a bad guy to play for. Ask him what he learned most from Coach Cater, and he just said how to treat people.
Yeah, it's always.
Monty, yeah.
We talked about it before. Relationships are so powerful.
Monty Cater, just a class act, and our congratulations to that great coach, Katie Stepp, our OVP Health kickoff, lifting it high. And the Indians gather it in. Short gain for Sissonville. Trenton McCoy was there on the return for the Indians. Well, Jim, is a situation for Sissonville. They've had some good drives here, but just have not been able to punch it in, and it's been tough to stop Wayne, and you pretty much know what Wayne's going to do. They'll sneak in a pass here and there, and two of them have gone for touchdowns.
Yeah, most of the time they're going to run it, but what's really hurt Sissonville is they had an opportunity to keep some drives alive and couldn't get any positive or zero gain yardage. They were getting sacked, and then they were looking at 3rd and 4th and long. That really is tough on an offense.
Tom Harmon, graduate of Old Buffalo Wayne High School. Bailoff goes down. Good defense by the Pioneers as Zane Atkins comes in to make the tackle. Coach Harrison graduated from Lackey High School in Maryland.
So they're going to have to send a few more. They only sent 2 guys out in that pass pattern, Mark. And when you got 4 defensive guys, it's kind of hard to find open seams.
Lost 2, 2nd and 12. A bit chilly here tonight at Joe Sawyer's Field. Of course, rain earlier in the day. Homecoming coming up here at halftime. We have a lot coming up on our halftime coverage. Bailov. And now he'll take off with it and finding some room and close to first down yardage is the freshman QB. Gets it to the 38-yard line. A nice job there, realizing just wasn't anything happening there. So a 10-yard gain. And after that 2-yard loss, so they got 2 to go for the first down.
Yeah, it's something manageable for them at this point. 3rd and 2. As long as you can have something in the positive range, you got an opportunity to at least try to take a shot at a 4th down to sustain your drive.
And coming up on our Huntington Mall halftime report, we salute the Todd Judy Ford Scholar Athletes. We go around the school, highlights, stats. Of course, we will keep you abreast of what's happening here at halftime as well as Taylor gets the first down. First downs here in the second quarter, sponsored by Optimum. But again, join us for the Huntington Mall halftime report. The Huntington Mall invites you to discover all the great dishes their restaurants have to offer. Dine in, enjoy the patio, or eat in your car. It is the great dining adventure at the Huntington Mall. Sissonville right back to work offensively here.
And trying to really speed up the tempo with 2:57 on a running clock here right before halftime. Trying to put some points on the board. Desperately need them.
And Bailov getting it into the hands of Evan Taylor. Of course, before we hit our Huntington Mall halftime report, we'll show you some of the great scenes from within our Sinclair broadcast group, and not only our Friday night rivals coverage around the country, but also our Thursday night lights package. Wayne with 9 first downs, Sissonville with 6. Second down here. Well, you know, Jeremy Hairston, his crew, love nothing better than to put points on the board before heading into the Dawson locker room here at Sissonville High School. Bailov back to pass and going to take off with it again. And rock ball comes loose, goes out of bounds. They got hit hard there by Atkins.
Yeah, Bailov took a shot there on that run, roll out to the right. Didn't really see anything in the secondary to give him an opportunity to throw once. Is really kind of smart. To tuck it and run.
Tanner McMillian also in on the play for Wayne. Wayne leads the series 24-11. They won it last year 46-36. That stopped a 2-game slide. Been 2 overtime games in this series in 2006 and 2011. Well, pressure comes and he lets loose of it, but boy, he took shots. I mean, he was sandwiched.
He's a little slow to get up and rightfully so. He took it from both sides on that one, Mark.
And I'll give that young man a lot of credit for standing in there. Longest winning streak in this series for Sissonville is 4 games. Wayne had a 10-game winning streak, and that included playoff game. They've met twice in the playoffs, 2013 and 17. Wayne's won both of those. Pressure on Walker, the punter, and Perry scoops it up at around the 20. And Perry jarred there and taken down at the 29-yard line.
Pretty good coverage by the Indians on that to keep them at least on. And now we have some laundry there on the field. We'll have to see what that is holding against the Pioneers. So that'll set them back a little bit more.
Michael Boland joined here tonight by Donald Burton, the umpire. Jeffrey Lilly is the linesman. The line judge is Justin Grogg. Justin, a former standout at Wyoming East. Michael Walker, side judge. The field judge is David Farley. Justin, a part of that Wyoming East State Championship team that his father Kevin guided. Sissonville 6-14 all time in playoff competition. Again, they lost championships in 1951 and 1958 with Joe Sawyers at the helm to Old Huntington Vinson High School and Old Clarksburg Roosevelt Wilson High School. Vinson now a part of Spring Valley, Roosevelt Wilson part of Robert C. Byrd. First down and 10. Football at the 20. Ball is loose. Fry picks it up and flips it into the hands of Mathis. And Mathis going to try to turn this into something else and still on his feet. Boy, they get him down, but not before he races to the 35-yard line. Cox with a touchdown saving tackle. How many times do you see a busted play that almost turns into disaster for the defense?
Yeah, you got to, he just kind of a loop between his legs, dumps it out to Mathis, and Mathis does the rest. As a matter of fact, he just got shoved down.
45-yard gain. Well, you know, when you're in a situation there, they're all chasing Fry in the loose ball, and that left Mathis all alone out there. Here's a catch made. Nice grab. Out in the flat, number 0, Cade Estep hauling it in.
Yeah, nice move by Estep after the catch. He made a jab step to his left and came back to the right and ran up the sideline and got a few extra yards out of that. It's a really nice move by that young junior.
Again, they don't throw it a lot, but they've had a lot of guys catch passes this season, and a beautiful snag there by the Pioneers. Fisher, Fry, gunning, and getting it to Caden Watts. Watts is a senior.
Yeah, they have the ability to throw it. They have the propensity to run it, but they will throw it if they need to.
And that being Watts' first catch of the season. So a couple of guys getting that first catch of the campaign. Here's Fry, flag coming down. It's going to be a hold. They will flip it out there into the hands of Estep, but that's going to come back.
Yeah, they caught that one right off the bat. They did it in the most inopportune place, right in front of the referee.
Yeah.
If you do it right in front of the referee, they're probably going to throw the flag.
Jeremy Hairston replacing Chad Lovejoy, who was here for 2 years as the head coach. He replaced Mark Wilson, who had some playoff teams, and Coach Wilson replaced Eddie Smolder as the head coach.
Second and 15 for Wayne.
So timeout here. Under a minute to go here in this first half of action.
Wayne calling the timeout there, Mark. You alluded to it earlier about the carousel of coaches that Sissonville has had there in the past few years. I think you named 3 or 4 of them, which is the exact opposite of Wayne with Tom Harmon in his 27th year. That's such a rare thing to find these days, coaches that are coaching for that long.
Oh, we were talking earlier this evening. I know you played for Fred Taylor, who was then replaced by Dick Sturm. They had about 47 years combined. And I believe, was it your senior year that here at Joe Sawyer's Field, Fred Taylor got his 100th win?
100th win, 14-7 win over the Indians. Not that I should know that, but for some reason I do. So,
well, my last high school football game was at Ripley against Sissonville. So we got some ties there to this Indian program, place we love to come. Joe Sawyer's Field, great broadcast location. Firing it out, Estep makes the grab. Estep with a nice little move there and taken down. So Fry now 6 of 6.
Yeah, he's got some pretty handy receivers out there that are generally wide open. The only one he's thrown into traffic was that the one to Perry that he caught for a touchdown.
Speaking of.
Yeah, right on cue. Just enough time to get another first down. Hayden
on the catch, but Fry with the throw. So they keep going into the air here.
And what they really need to understand is that they've got 5 ticks left on the clock. So if they're going to punch this one in, it's probably going to have to be on this play.
Well, you think about Wayne, they're 3-4, and I think it's a deceiving 3-4. They opened with Tulsa, beat them 41-0, lost to Scott. We saw Scott. Scott beat them 26-16. So that was a tight game.
Right.
Winfield, we saw them. That was 26-21. Nitro, not a bad team. Saw them against Hoover, 33-21. They beat Lincoln County 45-6. We saw Herbert Hoover. Pretty impressed with them. 27-20. And then they beat Chapmanville last week 18-7. And a great little nugget here from Ryan Epling. That 18-7 victory over Chapmanville was just the 3rd time Wayne has ever won a game by that score in the history. Beat Sherman 18-7 in 1957 and Duval 18-7 in 1992.
He is trying to match our par excellence statistician, Robert. But I'll tell
you what, Ryan, that would be a great race. Those are 2 of the best.
Yeah, they are. Absolutely.
All right, here's Fry. Pressure coming, and Fry, can he get rid of it? And just takes off with it. Boy, I tell you what, he stumbles close to the goal line as time expires. A 28-0 lead here for the Wayne Pioneers over the Sissonville Indians. Homecoming 2023 between the Pioneers and Indians, and the visitors on top at the moment as the teams head to the locker room. Well, the rain held off, and some impressive play by Wayne, and certainly a lot of things that Sissonville can build on it. Let's head down to Hannah Klein.
Well, Coach, coming in tonight's game, dominant in all phases. What do you attribute that success to?
Well, we've struggled at times this year, but we like to think that each week you try to get a little bit better, and hopefully this is a culmination of some of the hard work that they put in before.
And what are you focusing on in the second half?
Same thing. We just need to make sure we execute. Got a little bit of a lead, make sure we can use our entire offense, work on some maybe some defensive calls that we may want to use later, those type of things. So.
Thank you, Coach. Mark, I'll go ahead and send it back to you.
All right, thank you, Hannah, and many thanks to veteran Tom Harmon, 27 season as the head coach of the Wayne Pioneers, one of the best in the business. We break away here, halftime, and his Pioneers on top by a count of 28-0, and we take a look at some of the great scenes from around the country, high school football from our Friday Night Rivals package, and our Thursday Night Lights on the Sinclair Broadcast Group.
The best Thursday Night Lights and Friday Night Rivals highlights from across the country.
Cotterill, the West Point commit. West Ashley looking to make a shot downfield. He finds his man. It was Ethan Renew, the sophomore, making the biggest play of his season.
This could very well be the ball game. Dreer looking to get within one with the touchdown. We'll throw the same pass to the other side right there, and caught. Touchdown, Dreer.
He's able to run. Oh, and he's leveled. It's Xavier Jones again.
Throwing deep. It tipped. He got it. And caught by Charleston. Touchdown. He fell, but he's in.
In the backfield, bit of a bad snap. It went wild, but Robertson takes it himself and dives, and he's got the touchdown.
This kid makes things happen when not everything's going right.
Be fielded right at the goal line, and the Clemens Buffaloes bring it out across midfield and break it. Across the 35 to the 40, down the sideline, and gone. An opening night touchdown return. Here's Miles Davis. This kid is a Texas A&M commit. He is the real deal. He finds a seam. He's breaking it across the 30 to the 35. He's still on his feet. Watch out. Davis to the 40. Gets a block. Got to get one more. Touchdown.
We're We're here at the Huntington Mall, one of the many sponsors of Friday Night Rivals, and I'm actually here with Marky Valdez. Now, she's the marketing director here at the mall. Now, tell me, what does this mean to be a part of Friday Night Rivals?
Well, you know, our mall is just a big community-based mall, and a lot of our customers are fans of our local high schools and high school football, and so it's great to be able to give back to something like that.
And when you talk about those fans, let's take a moment and talk a little bit about that community and how important it is.
Our community is, we provide so many different things for our shoppers, you know, and we're more than just a shopping center. We like to think of our place as a place to come and gather. We like to do a lot of different events for our customers. And so, you know, being able to give back to that community is a wonderful opportunity.
Awesome. Well, thank you. It was so nice to meet you, and thank you so much to the Huntington Mall for helping with Friday Night Rivals. This is a big check brought to you by Big Sandy Superstore. Now I'm here with the athletic director for Sissonville High School. Well, $500 going to your guys' high school. What does this mean for you?
Well, a small school and football team not having the best year, so our crowds are down. So with attendance being down, that's how we fund everything. So every little bit helps.
So with the $500, what exactly will that be going towards?
It'll just go directly into our football account, and so we have some bills outstanding, so it'll go directly to pay those.
Awesome. Well, congratulations. Thank you so much for speaking with me, and thank you so much to Big Sandy Superstore.
The outstanding athletic director here at Sissonville High School, championship coach in girls basketball. We welcome you back here to Joe Sawyer's Field. Halftime, 28-0. Wayne on top of the Sissonville Indians homecoming. Jim Mahan joining me. And, Jim, I think it was a first half in which Jeremy Hairston, first of all, from Sissonville, can come away with a lot of positives, though his team does trail by 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, he was moving the ball well. They just couldn't really punch anything in. Pioneer defense stiffened a little bit on them, but they were able to move the ball on several series. So that's something positive for Coach Harrison.
Well, and we talk about Wayne and the battles. They have given some really good teams this season, and I think it kind of shows here. They've got some weapons on this squad here, and Coach Harmon and his crew trying to make a strong run here to finish out this 2023 season and get into the playoffs.
Yeah, they're definitely going to need that.
Looking at some of the stats there, first downs, Wayne with 12, Sissonville with 6 rushing yards, huge for the Pioneers with 178, and they've also done a pretty good job in the passing game, Jim.
Yeah, they have actually, got a lot of yards in passing, so 133.5 on a team that's predominantly a running team. But one of the stats that pops out to me, Mark, this is the first time I can remember neither team has a turnover.
Yeah, and it was a soggy night here. I mean, we've seen the ball come loose a couple times, but other than that, beautiful night here, beautiful scene here as once that rain stopped here on a chilly night homecoming here in Sissonville. Well, it was the Pioneers getting on the board first as Colton Mathis went to his right and then found daylight to the left and scores from 31 yards out. And Wayne in front to stay in that first half of play. And then Fry going to the air here. Fisher, Fry, and finding Perry makes the great leaping catch. And for Perry, that was his first catch of the season. And Justin Perry records the touchdown. Then Mathis goes in for the short score. And then Fry, how about another TD pass? And the former quarterback, Spradlin, with the grab there, and Grady Spradlin takes it in. And at halftime, it is a count of 28-0 with Wayne on top of Sissonville. And, of course, we saw Bryce Murdoch with a couple of extra points. She becomes the first girl in the history of Wayne football to score points in a football game. Congratulations to that young lady.
Yeah, it'd be a memorable moment there. I think that they ought to be finding some way to get her a signed ball or something since it's her first points, and that's history making. You don't see that very often. It doesn't happen very often.
And she is just a freshman, so going to be around for a while. And Coach Harmon telling me just how much, she has improved since the season started, and there she is. And boy, you just love the spirit of high school football. When she delivered that first extra point, just how excited her teammates were. So Wayne's going to get the ball, Jim, to start this second half of action.
Yeah, it's kind of obviously we know that they've been controlling the line of scrimmage. They've been pretty much controlling just about every facet of this game, including field position. But like we said, we talked about before, Coach Harrison trying to get a positive here. We talked about no turnovers. Again, it is a cold night. It's a chilly night. You really got to pay attention to keeping your hands on the ball. So we'll see if Sissonville can get a stop and get some good field position and start turning the momentum a little bit in the second half.
Mathis had 87 yards, the 2 touchdowns for Wayne. Taylor had 5 carries, 15 yards for Sissonville. Fry was a perfect 7 of 7, 133 yards and the 2 TDs. Baylog with 11 completions in 18 attempts for 50 yards. Wiseman, he hauled in 7 passes for 41 yards, leads all receivers. Estep had a couple of catches. Mathis and Justin Perry with the catch. Spradlin, of course, had a TD catch.
And you talked about, Wiseman with the 7 catches and some hard-earned yardage after those catches as well. So,
again, Sissonville coming in here. Nice game plan by Coach Jeremy Hairston and his crew. Tom Harmon, again, they are 39-17 all-time in playoff games at Wayne High School. And, of course, Coach Harmon has seen the bulk of those playoff games. Scott Jarrell had a playoff team in 78. Jim Dameron, outstanding coach for the playoff team in 93. And the rest have been under the guidance of Coach Harmon. 3 state championships, 4 runner-up finishes there at Wheeling Island Stadium. West playing for a title in 2013.
Mark, you can probably count on one hand the number of high school football coaches in West Virginia that have 200 victories.
Yeah, Point Pleasant, Kaiser in 2011 and 2012, and then they lost an epic battle. They were trying to get 3 in a row and fell to the Bridgeport Indians in 2013. So time for our OVP Health kickoff. And drilled down, and Wayne's Fisher Fry, the quarterback, a good athlete, and Fry will take it to midfield. It's a great field position to start things out here for the Wayne Pioneers. And again, all of our kickoffs sponsored throughout the season on our Parmar Friday Night Rivals Game of the Week by OVP Health, formerly Ohio Valley Physicians, in business since 1999.
Yeah, trying to put that in perspective, Mark, 200 victories is 20 years of 10-0 seasons. There's most coaches don't even coach 20 years now.
Fry will give the handoff to Dameron, and Dameron was just so smooth, racing through traffic there, takes it for a 20-yard gain down to the 30-yard line. Laz Marquez, who was part of the homecoming court tonight, and he is down at the moment. Senior helping to lay the foundation here for Jeremy Hairston, Austin High, and Lydia Oxley, Mr. and Miss Indian for 2023. Congratulations.
Yeah, Dameron did a nice job hanging on to that ball that they were trying to strip from him after that long gain.
Well, this young man has been a big part of trying to just keep it together here for Sissonville this season. Coach Hairston just trying to lay a foundation and said, have these guys play the right way. So he's up and walking off because, again, they lost such a good player there at quarterback in Ethan Taylor, left-handed quarterback. He was very smooth, but again, the youngster Baylog has played here tonight, been very impressive, just a freshman. Fresh set of downs, our first downs in this third quarter, sponsored by the University of Charleston and Dameron. Journeys for good yardage down to the 22, about an 8-yard pickup.
Yeah, they're really churning. You go start at the 50, get to the 20, now down to or 30, now down to the 20. They're some big chunk yardage right off the gate.
Wayne with games remaining, both at home with Logan and Polka. Hand it off, and Dameron again just slams straight ahead inside the red zone, sponsored by Glenville State University. Glenville State University prepares and inspires students to be thoughtful, productive, engaged, and responsible citizens who contribute to the well-being of their community, state, nation, and world. Pioneer your future. Tight formation. Dameron gets the call, and Dameron maneuvers his way into the end zone. 14-yard score for the Pioneers.
Yeah, really nice job by that line up front, Mark. He just had almost like the Red Sea parting.
E-Step is back on to attempt the point after. Spradlin is the holder, and the kick is up, and the kick is good. A 35-0 lead.
There's Dameron. He just follows his blocks off of that left edge and has no trouble at all getting into the end zone.
Well, it didn't take the Pioneers long as they take the opening kickoff. Our scoring summary is sponsored in part by Mark A. Hunt and Associates, the Kanawha Valley's premier personal injury law firm. 4 plays, 50 yards, 116. That started with a pretty nice kickoff return by the quarterback, Fisher Fry.
Fry started it, put the ball at midfield, and it took him all of 4 plays to get it in the end zone.
Well, Dameron had all of the yardage on that drive. He got the call. He was the man.
4 carries, 50 yards we're aware of.
Get the kickoff here, sponsored by OVP Health, and then we'll get down to Hannah Klein with the homecoming court here tonight. E-Step puts his foot into it, and it's going to be Cox around the 15, and Cox will be corralled. Down to Hannah Klein we go.
Well, Mark, right here at Sissonville High School, it is homecoming night, and I'm in front of King and Queen. Now, this is Austin and Lydia. Now, I have to know, because your sister won last year and your brother won last year. Tell me exactly, what does this mean?
It really means a lot, especially now that he's in college and he can't be here because he has wrestle off tomorrow. So it's pretty special for me to win it without him watching, but it's kind of sad. I'm excited, though.
And your sister, I saw she was able to crown you.
Yes.
Describe that moment for me.
It felt great to be able to represent my school, and just having my sister crown me, it just meant a lot.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate both of you. Congratulations. And Mark, I'll go ahead and send it back to you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Hannah. Taylor gets the call on first down for the Indians, trying to grind his way for a couple.
Did some good footwork there, Mark, getting away from some tacklers that were trying some shoestring, because he's really difficult to bring down.
The thing is about some of the great coaches here, of course, obviously Joe Sawyers, but they had the late, great Greg Cyrus. He got Sissonville into the playoffs. Larry Jones, the late Larry Jones, he was the head coach, and our good friend Henry Bublanum, the defensive coordinator. That was the first year, 1994, that the state championships were played at Wheeling Island Stadium. They took on Polka. Polka won that state title game, but what a run by the Indians. Had that great championship run, won in the semifinals against Ritchie County, the late Kenny Wright.
Did they have a Forrest Gregg here?
Forrest Mann.
Forrest Mann,
yes.
Forrest Mann, yeah. I was somewhere in the neighborhood.
Yeah, Forrest Mann, yeah, he was the coach when the two of us would have been playing. Outstanding coach. Standing tall, flicking it in the direction of Wiseman, I believe, and the ball falls. I tell you, this kid's got a pretty nice arm. He stands tall, and
he does a good job of staying in that pocket. He doesn't get rattled too much, and he's had a lot of hits and pressured too.
Yeah, just keeps getting up. So it'll be a punting situation here. And late Larry Mullins was a coach here. Well, bad snap, and Walker, and boy, just knocks it out of the end zone. Heads up play by the punter. Bad snap, and that's going to result in a safety.
I understand the flag, but we'll see what. Well, he just calls it a safety.
Makes that a 37-0 count now.
That snap goes over T.C. Walker's head. He knocks it out of the end zone for a safety against the Indians.
Well, Jim, I did a Marshall game last night. Marshall got a safety.
Yes, they did.
2 safeties in a row. It was a 3-2 game at one point.
Yeah. I don't know that you call that a scoring drive, would you? It's really a defensive touchdown or defensive drive or score. Or I don't know exactly how
And now the Indians will, of course, kick it away. You can punt it or kick it.
I was wondering if you had to punt or kick.
Marshall kicked it last night.
Could you throw the ball? I'm just curious. like on a kickoff, instead of kicking it or punting it,
I don't know.
are you allowed to throw it?
I don't know if we're looking at punt, pass, and kick here.
You have to kick it. You have to use your foot in some sort. Okay.
I think you have. I think you have.
Free
you
kick.
spent a little time on the playground there when they used to throw the ball when they
throw
kicked it off.
You just throw it. Throw it high in the air. It's sometimes more effective than a kick.
All right, so it's going to be a punt here on the free kick by the Indians.
Roberts brought it to my attention. It is called a free kick, which means you must use your foot. Very well taken, Robert.
Gathered in there by Perry. Runs into his own man and now finds daylight. Turns on some speed and he stepped out of bounds at around the 9 or 8 or 9. But boy, nice little burst there by Perry.
Yeah, good acceleration around that left side, but he just followed his blockers. It really wasn't a wall. He just found some good seams on that left side and
Scampers down the left sideline.
some really good real estate there, putting him once again in threatening scoring position.
First and 10 Wayne from the Indian 13-yard line.
So actually he's out at the 13-yard line. So that's where Wayne will take over here. 9:30 to go in the third quarter. Sissonville has had its moments offensively. Gun it out here to E-Step, and E-Step makes the grab and then hard to bring down. They'll finally get him to the turf. Of course, we both had a chance to play here back in the day. Of course, the grass played Saturday afternoon football for a long time before they finally got lights. And boy, what a renovation here. And all the Kanawha County high schools. Of course, they had Ladley Field, which was the home and still the home for Capital, and was the home for GW for a while. And Old Charleston High, Stonewall Jackson floated out into the flat, and nice piece of running there, and a touchdown for the Pioneers as Caden Hayden takes it in for Wayne.
With a 9-yard touchdown grab from Fisher Fry.
Now it follows the safety, and the Pioneers on the board again. Touchdown sponsored by Marshall University. We are Marshall. E-Step will come on to attempt the point after.
Nice job by Hayden finding that left side over there.
Kick up, and the kick is no good.
As Caden Hayden catches that toss over there. A little bit of a bobble, but he knows where that goal line is, and he finds it, puts that shoulder down, and just lunges across the end zone.
All right, we break away here in Sissonville, and the Pioneers in control over the Indians on FNR. Was back inside here at Joe Sawyer's Field on the campus of Sissonville High School. Our scoring summary sponsored by Mark A. Hunt and Associates, attorneys at law. It didn't take long. 2 plays, 13 yards, 53 seconds off the clock. Extra point was no good, so it's a 43-0 count in favor of the Wayne Pioneers. And now we're going to have Bryce Murdoch again making history earlier here tonight. First female to score points in a football game at Wayne High School. So now she's going to kick it off. Young and Cox are back deep for Sissonville. Be taken by the up back Wheeler, and Wheeler, boy, then a good stick there by Wayne's Justin Perry. And Wheeler brings it out to around the 42-yard line, so that is where Sissonville will begin operation of the football.
One of the better starting positions for Sissonville, positions to start their drives, if they can try to put some points on the board here for Coach Harrison and give something positive to look forward to for the last 2 or 3 weeks. They really need to get this offense, try to get them in sync to get them some points on the board.
They will go 3 wide to the top of your screen, single receiver at the bottom. Along the quarterback, the freshman, sets up and delivers and intended for Wiseman. And on the coverage was Justin Perry.
Yeah, double coverage there on the left side, Mark. Decent throw by Bailoff, but
well, he has hung tough. Yeah, he's hung tough tonight, and he is stood tall. And again, I mean, he's had a few games under his belt now, but tell you what, he just plays with a mature presence about him, and that's a sign of good things to come.
Yeah, most freshmen that are standing back there getting racked like he is could be a little bit timid.
Handed off to Taylor, who's a horse, and Taylor with a nice run. And he has first down yardage. First down sponsored by the University of Charleston. Takes that to the 44-yard line. So number 20 tackled by number 20, Jake Davis. 13-yard pickup.
Yeah, very nice job. Just stiff arming and bowling his way through there. Taking off again.
Taylor trying to swing it to the outside. Taylor inside the 30. 2 big rips by Taylor, and another first down sponsored by the University of Charleston.
Taylor, a nice job there. It's probably 2 of the more positive plays Sissonville's run in the entire game.
Handed off to Taylor again, and Taylor just lowers the boom there as he gets it close to the 20-yard line. Stop made by Wayne's Armando Batista, sophomore. Taylor was 7 on the carry. Give it to Taylor, just feeding him. So maybe a little bit of a page out of the Wayne playbook. We saw Dameron getting all the carries for the Pioneers there earlier, and now here he is.
Definitely Taylor being the workhorse, trying to head it down. Like I said, we really positive for these Indians to put some points on the board.
So Taylor will check out, get a little break here, and Cox comes in for Sissonville. Rain starting to return here to Joe Sawyer's Field, held it off most of this game, had plenty of it before the kickoff. High snap, give it to Cox, and Cox straight away, and he wrestled to the ground. Again, as they open that red zone sponsored by Glenville State University.
Holding against Sissonville.
Michael Bolin, our referee tonight. This crew primarily out of southern West Virginia. Donald Burton, the umpire, 12 years of service. Justin Grogg, been doing it for 2 years. Jeff Lilly, 4 years. David Farley, 2 years. Mike Walker, 6 years. Again, Mr. Bowley, 12 years as an official. Cannot do it. Dedicated individuals like those working the game tonight. Gunning in a great catch made there at the 18-yard line. A nice snag by Young.
Yeah, really nice onto that ball. I mean, the ball was thrown a little bit behind him, but give credit to Young knowing where the first down marker, the yard to gain is.
So it's a first down for Sissonville. They placed the football at the 16. Baylog hands it to Cox, and Cox has running room straight up the middle, and Cox got to about the 5, and then they'll shove him back.
Forward momentum is going to give him enough, I think, for the first down mark. First and goal.
Yeah, another first down, and Taylor returns for the Indians.
I'm going to bet some even money. Number 20 is going to be carrying that pigskin here in just a second.
Cox comes in, does a nice job.
First and goal, Indians from
Cox is a junior, will return. Throw into the end zone, touchdown. Catch made by Wheeler, and Sissonville is on the board here at the 5:43 mark of the third quarter.
It was a very well-designed play, Mark. Baylov fakes it like he's going to ride it off to Taylor. Then he takes a couple of steps forward, and then a little jump pass.
Kick is up by Taylor, and it is good. And it is a 43-7 count here. A big lift for the Indians. Wheeler hauls it in, breaking the action here on homecoming 2023. Wayne on top of the Indians. Indians on the board on FNR.
They scored.
Good deal. Poca Valley Bank. Poca Valley Bank leverages the value of your home and explores all the possibilities with a Poca Valley Bank home equity line of credit. Poca Valley Bank, where relationships matter.
Poca Valley Bank is your T-shirt gun sponsor. Leverage the value of your home and explore all the possibilities with a Poca Valley Bank home equity loan of credit, where relationships matter.
Assistant coaches for Jeremy Hairston, Greg Jones, Jordan Paul, A.J. Fisher, Jim Jeffries, Dave Sisson, Derek Hasdorf, and Henry Boo Blanham. And Dave Sisson, boy, he was quite the player in his day. Here at Sissonville, onside kick, and nice heads-up play there by Tristan Turner for the Pioneers. Sissonville trying to see if they could catch the Pioneers off guard.
Yeah, nice job by Turner to grab that onside kick. You kind of have to do that if they want to try to put some more points on the board. They saw some positive stuff there on that last drive, particularly with Taylor and Bailov.
So Fisher Fry out with the play from head coach Tom Harmon and his staff. Got a lot of great coaches over there as well. Nick Dameron, a former player, handed off to Hayton, and Hayton on the move, and Hayton has the first down. First down sponsored by the University of Charleston, about a 20-yard pickup, maybe 19 for Hayton.
Coach Harmon alluded to that at halftime when he was speaking with our Hannah Klein about looking at some different things, some different wrinkles of what they want to do, not only offensively, but defensively. There was a reverse there in that play.
Officially 19 yards. Again, Nick Dameron, former player for Coach Harmon. David Atkins, he's been with Tom for 20 years. Gunnar Harmon, the head coach's son, he was a good little quarterback for the Pioneers. Tucker Watts, former player, and Mac McField, ex-Marine, come in there and really added something to the off-season program and in-season as well, keeping these Pioneers in shape and flicking it out. Dameron's got the call. Even when Dameron's got guys around him and he's going to go down, he still can lug a few yards there, and he does there. Boy, I like him.
Yeah, what if normally would have been a 4 or 5 yard loss, he manages to drag him back to the original line of scrimmage.
Dameron, 5'11", 220, a senior. Tell you what, Fisher Fry, perfection, 10 for 10. Flicked it out there. A little misdirection here, and here's Mathis. And Mathis taken down. Good read there defensively by Sissonville. That was Laz Marquez, who we saw injured earlier, but back in there, one of the Sissonville seniors, and slow to get up. Is that Fry? Or is that Mathis?
Mathis, I think he came down a little hard there.
Yeah, he did. He was tackled hard from behind by Marquez, and he's going to get a breather.
Laz put a little authority in that tackle. I think some frustration was coming out.
Well, senior, you're playing your final game here at home. Last two are going to be on the road. In motion. Now 11 of 11 as Spradlin makes the catch, tackled by Taylor. And move the chains.
Fisher Fry completes that pass to number 18, James Spradlin.
And Grady Spradlin with the catch.
It's a nice toss out there in the corner and just a good cut up and an extra yards after catch.
Wayne has moved those chains 18 times tonight, Jim. First downs sponsored here in this third quarter by the University of Charleston. Wayne on the move. Fake the handoff. Fry floats and wide open. Touchdown Pioneers. Jared Perry on
the catch off of that play action. That's kind of what seemed for it.
.256 in to attempt the point after Spradlin the holder, and the kick is up, and this one will be short.
Yeah, the timing of that, the ball was kind of dropped off the tee, so she had to pause a little bit. That's kind of tough on a kicker.
Makes it a 49-7 score.
Wayne stretches the lead. 2:56 left in the third quarter.
Our scoring summary, sponsored by Mark A. Hunt and Associates. 5 plays, 50 yards, 2:47 off the clock. Tonight's Parmar Friday Night Rivals Game of the Week streaming on Facebook Live is being sponsored by Jan Dills Attorneys at Law. Car wreck, call Jan Dills Attorneys at Law. So it will be Wayne kicking off here to Sissonville. Indians scored the last time they had the football, got on the board, but Then right back comes Wayne. Sure what the holdup is here, Jim.
I don't know what the delay is.
All right, now both teams coming out, the kicking teams, the kicking unit for Wayne and the return team for Sissonville.
We don't have the statistics on our previous Wayne game, Mark, but we know he's 12. Fisher Fry is 12 for 12. I'm just wondering, did he have any completed passes toward the end of his previous game, and he's on some type of streak?
173 yardage, 4 touchdowns. And here's Murdoch and snagged by Wheeler, and check that was Trenton McCoy on the receiving end.
On that return for Sissonville. Takes it to the 40-yard line.
So Sissonville flags are down here.
Illegal participation, meaning, I believe, they have too many guys on the field. Tack on some yardage for the Indians as they get a start on the positive side of the 50-yard line.
A good opportunity here for Sissonville to, again, just looking for a lot of positives here tonight. Taylor going to be roped down there. Stop made by Wayne's Jaden Wayman, sophomore. Check it, that was Cox on the carry.
For the Pioneers. Loss of one on the play.
Wayne got some of those fresh jerseys in there, Mark, here toward the end of the third quarter.
You get a lot of guys some playing time.
Those kids that are out there now, they're going to be the future of the Wayne Pioneers going forward from here. So this game time could prove to be invaluable for them.
Well, they always talk about programs, at the high school level. Baylog fires it up and trying to get it in the direction of Young, and the ball falls incomplete.
Baylog tries to hit Nate Young down the left sideline. That pass
But you talk about, how you're going to build your program, and certainly all those playoff teams down through the years with Coach Harmon and, those championship runs, and that's 4 extra weeks of practice.
Yeah, that actually definitely helps your program. Plus, it helps, the kids that are coming up, that they see that these young kids that are in the youth programs and they want to be a part of that winning tradition as well.
3rd and 11. Baylog rifles, and Wiseman with the terrific catch. Stopped there by Perry, but a first down for Sissonville.
Wiseman there just does that long slant, good throw by Bailoff, and then hauls it in, and a little bit of extracurricular activity after that from Wiseman in the secondary.
It's a 24-yard gain, and now
they're going to take it back because they caught it. They did catch it.
Yeah, boy.
I think Wiseman a little bit frustrated because of the way the tackle went toward his ankles. Mark, and and I know that's one of the areas that for a receiver, it's kind of important that they have their ankles where they can run their patterns and make their cuts and their turns and stuff. And I think Wiseman took a little offense to it.
So,
I believe it's first down because it was after the ball and it was a dead ball.
Yeah, they got to get.
I think it's a first down, but they lost the yardage off after the catch. They're trying to figure this out, but I'm pretty sure it's first down and 10 from the 37.
They'll move the chains and get set up here and refresh that down marker, and back to work we go. I think. All right, now we are good to go with football action. Great to have you with us here on our Parmar Friday Night Rivals Game of the Week, presented by Eyewitness Sports. And one of the great drive comes to an end as the pass is intercepted by Jared Perry. Well, Perry's had a catch on the offensive end for a TD, and now an interception. Tough break for Sissonville on the move once again. So
it's a good example of how a secondary guy reads the quarterback's eyes and where the ball is, and Perry's in the right place at the right time to snag that INT for the first turnover of the game, I believe.
So Fry, 12 of 12, and that win over Chapmanville, the 18-7 victory, was 5 of 8. So he has hit on 17 passes in his last 2 games. Here is the handoff, and God's kind of busy right now. It's Perry. Perry's caught a touchdown pass, intercepted a pass, and now gets the call here on first down.
And the typical yardage, Robert's given us their average in about 12.3 yards per play. So they've had some awfully big plays in this game.
New QB in the game for the Pioneers, and it's Spradlin, who has been the starter down through the years, and then they decided to make a position change with him and moved him to tight end, receiver, and so now he's in there. Going to get him some work. And you're thinking about, winning out and reaching the playoffs, and something Wayne knows all about. They've enjoyed playoff success, and they've enjoyed a lot of those playoff victories at the home base, Pioneer Field.
I think you talked about it earlier, Mark, Coach Harmon, with that culture. Spradlin, he comes in and he was a quarterback and gets moved to a different position, and he wants to do whatever's best to contribute to the success of the team. And I think that's a tribute to Coach Harmon and his staff.
All right, third quarter in the books. Away we go to the fourth here in our Parmar Friday Night Rivals Game of the Week. Wayne on top of Sissonville. Well, back inside here at Joe Sawyer's Field on the campus of Sissonville High School. Glad to have you with us here on our Parmar Friday Night Rivals Game of the Week, presented by Eyewitness Sports. Hannah Klein on the sidelines, our great F&R crew, Jim Mahan, I'm Mark Martin, and Jim. Tom Harmon, I think, getting to see a lot of what he wanted to see here tonight. First of all, let's talk about the Pioneers.
Yeah, the Pioneers have just dominated the line of scrimmage and just took it from the opening time that they've had possession and haven't looked back. So,
meanwhile, if you are Jeremy Hairston, I think there's going to be a lot of positives you can take from this game with 1 quarter to go. And we should note it's going to be a rolling clock with 8 minutes showing up there on the scoreboard.
It is a rolling clock, but I'm super impressed, of course, with Wiseman, with his hands. And Bailiff's done a really nice job as a freshman coming in. He's been rattled around. He's been hurt. He's been knocked down. And he's tough. He can take a hit and keep on going.
All right. Indians and the Pioneers back to work here for one final quarter of play. So happy to have all of you with us. Now, this is the night, Jim, we talk about when it comes to high school football. This is perfect hot chocolate weather.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
One would have thought by now that Robert would have supplied that, but he has not.
And a nice run there on the first play from the line of scrimmage for Perry, but I believe it's going to be for naught there was a flag there, and it looks like it's going to go against the Indians.
Yeah, flag down. And they gave the football to actually Jaden Wayman.
Okay.
He got the call. Let's see if we.
A reminder again, Mark, that we are on they shortened the period from 12 minutes to 8, and it is a winding clock. So regardless of whether it's a incompleted pass or whatever, they're going to wind the clock.
Ball is on the ground, and I believe Wayne has pounced on it. And pouncing on it was Jared Perry.
Yeah, I think the exchange from the center to the quarterback caused that fumble more so than anything else.
2-yard loss on that play by the Pioneers. Sets them back to the 40-yard line. 2nd and 12.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And hats off to Coach Harrison. He's got some fresh jerseys in there as well for the Indians.
Give the call to Perry, and Perry takes it inside the 20 into the red zone, sponsored by Glenville State University. Brennan Harrison with the tackle. 23-yard gain.
17-yard line. 1st and 10 Wayne.
Now hand off. Turning it up is Caden Watts. Watts to the 15.
Number 3, Caden Watts on the carry for the Pioneers.
Watts, 5'8", 140, senior.
Gain of 2 on the play, 2nd down and 8. Number 15.
You can hear the home-standing crowd, Mark, trying to cheer their Indians on to keep them Pioneers out of the end zone.
Well, the tight formation, give it to Perry, and Perry banging his way close to the 5-yard line.
Yeah, he's going to be maybe a yard short of the first down.
Jared Perry on the carry for the Wayne Pioneers. 3rd down and 2 from the 8.
3rd down, 1 here for Wayne. Final quarter of play. Ball is loose. Pioneers are on it.
A little trouble with the exchange there. Quarterback to running back. So now we're looking at 4th down and almost the full measure of the 10 yards.
Again, 2 programs rich in history. Wayne Pioneers and Sissonville Indians. Great shot of our Champions of the Game trophy will be presented following this showdown. I always like the trophy shots we get each week. Beautiful shot there, and taken down on the turf is Justin Perry. Tonight's Champions of the Game trophy, along with our Todd Judy Ford Scholar Athlete plaques, coming to us all season long from All Sport Trophies in Cedar Grove. Call them for all of your award needs at 304-539-1668. So a stop by the Indians, and Sissonville takes over the football.
Michael Taylor was saying he'll have none of that last score, so he wrestled him down to the ground to stop that threat from the Pioneers.
Well, we were talking about the history, Jim, and, Joe Sawyers and just the incredible work that gentleman did. And there he is, the man that this facility is named after, just a true gentleman to those that you can speak to and who knew him. And we had a couple teams in the championship game back in the 50s. And, you're well thought of in what you did as a coach when the facility in which your teams are now playing named in honor of a former coach, Joe Sawyers Field, here at Sissonville High School.
Yeah, that common Bear Bryant trend with that hat.
Got a great picture, too. We'll bring you here in a moment of one of the all-time great Wayne Pioneers. Sissonville with football, 2nd and 10. And it's Taylor bowling ahead. Not all schools can claim to have had a Kennedy Award winner, but Wayne can. David Morris. Got a shot of Dave. There he is, former WVU Mountaineer. And I always loved the old pictures at Mountaineer Field in Morgantown. And Dave was terrific defensive back there. Really thank our good buddy Joe Swan, WVU Sports Communications, all the great pictures he provides us with for a variety of projects as Cox fights his way for first down yardage.
Number 34, Ian Cox on that carry for the Bill.
Love those helmets. We're going back to the Jim Carlin and Bobby Bowden days.
Those helmets are almost identical to what they have now.
Yeah, they've kind of gone with that
except
look
for
here
the
a
flying
little bit.
WV. They still have that outline of the state. Some things come full circle, Mark.
Yeah. Speaking of WVU, announced that Don Nealon's going to be immortalized there at the stadium in November when they play Cincinnati. And, of course, that was the first opponent WVU faced there. What is now Mountaineer Field at Milan Pushkar Stadium. Another good run by Taylor. Takes it into Wayne territory. I thought it was neat that Steve Edwards Jr., George Washington's coach, a guy you played with in the North-South Football Classic, 23-yard gain by Taylor. He played in that game, but he was playing for Cincinnati.
Right. Just on a different uniform.
And we were talking earlier here tonight about some of the coaches here at Sissonville High School. The late Larry Mullins, as Taylor picks up about 9 on the play. He was a Cincinnati Bearcat.
Number 20, Michael Taylor, again on the carry for Sissonville.
John Denver was there that day to sing a song that's become quite popular down through the years.
Sang at many Mountaineer games.
Yeah.
As we see the rain pouring in on the last 30 seconds of this contest.
Well, it's a night that saw Wayne get out in front and never look back. Really coming down here. This young quarterback going to unleash, and a catch made there. Nice grab by Young. Young tackled by Perry, and that may be our final play of the game. East Coast Tees, more than T-shirts. They specialize in vehicle wraps, signs, window graphics, banners, and embroidery too. Go to eastcoasttees.com to see what they can do for you. 49-7, the Pioneers of Wayne, as the rain starts to come down here at Joe Sawyers Field. Wayne now 4-4. Sissonville drops to 0-8. 2 games to go on the road. Wayne has 2 games to go at home. That will do it. We'll come back and bring you our post-game coverage in just a moment. here on our Parmar Friday Night Rivals Game of the Week, presented by Eyewitness Sports. It's time now for our Big Sandy Superstore Big Play of the Game. Big Sandy Superstore also donates $500 each week to the host school of our Parmar Friday Night Rivals Game of the Week. Colton Mathis got the Wayne Pioneers on the board, a 31-yard dash to the end zone, capped a 4-play, 55-yard drive. They got on the board just in a minute, 22 seconds. Wayne off and running, and Wayne is victorious here tonight over the Sissonville Indians. And Hannah Klein is down on the field with the victorious Wayne Pioneers and head coach Tom Harmon.
Well, Coach, this team came out tonight looking to find rhythm. Talk about their performance.
Well, like you said, rhythm's a big part of it. Our guys, we've had some rough patches along the last few weeks, and it's nice to see some smiles on people's faces.
And it seemed like from the outside looking in, watching them every single play, they were not going to stop until the end. Talk about their performance and what the difference is from week one to now.
Well, the big thing is when you get in the middle of the season, you want to be able to make the playoffs. We dug ourselves a hole, and we're trying to dig ourselves out of it at this point. And tonight was a step towards what we need to do.
So, what's the future look like for Sissonville?
Listen, I was telling Coach after the game, sometimes when things are really dark, it's getting ready to burst. But that's tough times. I've been there, and I know how it is. But just keep your head down, keep working.
Awesome. Well, Coach, congratulations. Wayne High School taking home F&R Champions of the Week. Congratulations, Coach. And I want to hear from you guys. Yeah. Congratulations!
right, our congrats to the winning Pioneers. And now 4-4 on the season. Mathis had a big game, 6 carries, 91 yards, 2 touchdowns. Dameron 9 carries, 88 yards, and a touchdown. Fry, a perfect 12 of 12 passing, 173 yards, 4 touchdowns. And the Pioneers victorious here tonight. And now they got 2 games left, Jim. Logan and Polka, both of those games will be at home. Meanwhile, Sissonville will go to Nitro and Westside. And I like what Coach Harmon said there. Again, he was 0-10 first time around 27 years ago. He's got 3 state championships now.
He's been down that road, so that's a good encouragement that he can share with Coach Harrison and his crew. And Coach Harmon's kept his postseason playoffs still alive. They got 2 more games, and they're playing them at home, like you said, so they got a real shot at getting to the playoffs.
All right, and next week we're going to be in Quincy. It will be the Riverside Warriors, and they're going to take on the Lincoln County Panthers, and we certainly look forward to that next week. So, again, it is the Wayne Pioneers knocking off the Sissonville Indians here tonight, 49-7. Jim, a lot of fun. Look forward to it next week.
Absolutely.
So that's going to do it, our latest installment of the Parmar Friday Night Rivals Game of the Week, and it is Wayne winning over Sissonville. Final of 49-7. So for Jim Mahan, Hannah Klein, our great F&R crew, this is Mark Martin, and we say so long from Joe Sawyer's Field here on the campus of Sissonville High School, Homecoming 2023. We thank you for watching the Parmar Friday Night Rivals Game of the Week, presented by Eyewitness Sports.